Hi everybody, this is Larry Graves, and boy, am I excited. I just got the new Alice Cooper box set, and I'm going to be unboxing it for you now. Hi there. And I also got, quickly I'll just say, I already have these CDs, but these are hopefully better remastered versions of Sparks, Angst in My Pants. I love that album. When I first saw this album cover, I laughed my ass off. The two brothers, Ron and Russell Mael. And the one before it, Womp That Sucker, they made some of the best album covers. Sparks, Pulling Rabbits Out of a Hat. And one final thing before I get into the Alice Cooper box set. I have this. The original album was called Music That You Can Dance To, but when it was released on CD, whatever record company it was, very sneakily called it The Best of Sparks with Music That You Can Dance To underneath. And it's not like a greatest hits CD, it's just the album Music That You Can Dance To. And so I finally got the actual CD, Music That You Can Dance To. And now on to Alice Cooper. The studio albums 1969 to 1983. And I think I paid on Amazon.ca, I think it was like $80. I'm taking the plastic off in a very sexy way. Okay, not that sexy. And there's the back cover. The albums included, or the CDs included, are Pretty's For You, Easy Action, Love It to Death, Killer, School's Out, and I have all of the, well, most of those CDs already, but these are better remastered versions from what I've read. And after that, I just stopped buying Alice Cooper albums, so I never bought any of his solo albums. So this also includes, and I never bought $1 Billion Babies or Muscle of Love, so I might have heard a bit of $1 Billion Babies. So I'm looking forward to that. And they also have Alice Cooper solo albums, Welcome to My Nightmare, Alice Cooper Goes to Hell, Lace and Whiskey, From the Inside, Flush the Fashion. And I remember hearing that CD when it came out, or album. Special Forces, Zipper, Catches Skin, and Data. So I would love your thoughts on all of the Alice Cooper albums I just mentioned, and let me know which ones you preferred or didn't prefer. Now these are supposed to be replicas of the albums. So there's Pretty For You, which was on Zappa's Straight label. I've heard this, but not a lot. And this is the first time I've owned it on CD. And it's just like the original vinyl album, Warner Brothers. I can see you. I love this album. Alice Cooper, Easy Action. And it's, the cardboard's not flimsy, it's very sturdy. And the very same CD label. The very first album of Alice Cooper's I ever heard, Love It to Death, which my brother had bought. Oh, that was scary back in the day. Not as scary as a Nickelback album cover though. Alice Cooper Killer, another very cool album. Excellent. Now, the thing about this is the original album had a pull-out calendar. Was it a calendar, I believe? So it would fold up, and it was Alice Cooper being hung or hanged. Hanged. He was really hung. Let's see. It's probably the very same label. Yes, it is. Now, this is not like the original. School's Out. Probably my favorite Alice Cooper Band video. And it doesn't open up or anything. But the original would fold out, and you can see there on the back, you could make it into a desk, a desktop, and this would flip open. And the original disc, the vinyl disc, had a pair of panties, paper panties. And you don't know how that affects a 12-year-old. Luckily, I didn't reach puberty until I was 25. Now, I never owned this album, Billion Dollar Babies, but I know some of the songs like Elected, and like I said, I think I did hear the album once or twice. Oh, and this does come. That's nice. It comes with, I guess this was with the original album. And a $1 bill. It's got the song lyrics on the back, but that's one of the things that really sucks about CDs. It's like you need a magnifying glass to read it. And that comes in the separate pouch thing, or whatever you call it. Very same labels. Muscle of Love, I remember, came out in kind of a box thing, but I don't, since I never owned it. It's just the CD inside. Oh, there is a little thing here. Institute of Nude Wrestling. But the original came in, like I said, like a cardboard box. Maybe somebody out there that owns it can explain it further, because I can't. Because I never owned it. Alice Cooper, Welcome to My Nightmare. Of course, I've heard Only Women Bleed and maybe one other song, but I know it's supposed to be one hell of a good album. So I'm looking forward to hearing it. Oh, and there's a insert with the lyrics that you can't read because they're so small. And a different label. He's with Atlantic there. His solo career. Alice Cooper Goes to Hell, which I've never heard, except for, I think, except for I Never Cry. I do remember that. That was like a ballad. It was like a ballad. Same label. Lace and Whiskey, which, from what I remember reading reviews, it wasn't quite as good as his first two solo albums. And an actual different label. And I remember this picture. And no song lyrics, but information about writer credits and all that stuff. Ooh, cool album cover from the inside, which was the story about him recovering from being an alcoholic. Of course, he then went on to some other issues with drugs, but I've never seen that. There's the back door. The back door. Well, it is the back door and it's the back cover. And I bet there's an insert, and there is. Warner Brothers. So I switched to Warner Brothers. Released. And I believe Bernie Taupin, however you pronounce that, the lyric writer for Elton John, helped with this album. I remember that. And I remember hearing this, Flush the Fashion, because my very first girlfriend, who was in California, and I went to visit her for 3 weeks. She was a sexy young blonde. Bought this album, and I liked it at the time. It was like a new wave album. And he looks kind of new wave-ish. Another insert. He's still on Warner Brothers. I'm going to pull it out now. That's what she said. It's pretty cool. Lyrics. And then from watching his recent documentary, this is around the time he started getting into, I believe, I might be wrong, but I know it was cocaine, crack cocaine, I believe. Thankfully, he survived it. Special Forces. He says he doesn't even remember recording some of these albums. And there's no insert. And he's still on Warner Brothers. Zipper Catches Skin. And can't even read what that is. Maybe that's the lyrics for the album. And there's no insert, and he's with Warner Brothers still. I know for a fact that this album, Dada, he does not remember anything about it. And maybe the other one or two that I just showed you. But for sure, Dada, he does not remember recording or writing the songs or anything. But I've heard some good things about this album, actually. And no insert, and he's still with Warner Brothers. So that's it. That's my unboxing. There's no booklet, which is kind of a disappointment in a way, but at least I have some updated, excuse me, I have some updated remastered versions because I have the older CDs here, which they're all right sounding, but they're not even the original covers for the most part. These are probably 20 years old. So I'll be giving these away in my next classic rock giveaway, along with much more stuff. So thanks very much for watching, and I would love your comments below on all these albums that I showed you. Goodbye.